Hello, YouTubers. I wanted to talk about the topic of immortality. My newest book addresses immortality. Um, I want to know what your thoughts were about it, but um, comment please and let me know. But my thoughts, my personal thoughts about the whole topic is that immortality. Um, I don't think that immortality is what is like the greatest thing. With the advances in science and medicine, we're trying to extend human life, and you know, some scientists are proposing that we splice our DNA with turtles, you know, certain breed of jellyfish to enhance life because they, actually this sort of, I don't remember the exact scientific term or name for this jellyfish, but they say that this jellyfish can regenerate itself. Ultimately, it is immortal. It doesn't die. There's a big problem with that. With immortality, first would be overpopulation, of course. But I also think there's another issue with immortality in general. Um, I'll go through every one. First, of course, is the overpopulation. Um, as we can live longer, there's going to be more people. With more people is going to cause problems with pollution and finding more and more available space, and eventually our Earth will overpopulate and be too many people, too crowded. We would have to kill each other off. We could live forever, but obviously there's kind of mortality to it. To kill each other in some way or fashion. But I just see the real inherent problem there. My new book addresses the whole idea, the whole aspect of immortality. I think that age, time is, it's not, you have a biological age, and then you have a spiritual age. And I think that, like for example, I might die when I'm 60 years old. But I think, what constitutes time? This whole concept of time. Like, what is time? We count seconds and minutes. I have a theory about the whole nature of time. Time is like an organism, it's a creature, and like for example, seconds. Minutes eat seconds, and hours eat minutes, and what eats the hours? Days. What eats days? Years. So on. Time is just it's like a living force. It feeds, it eats. Time just goes forward, thrust a forward motion. Our universe just keeps expanding. And that's called the time, progression time, as we know it. But I believe that the whole aspect of this immortality, I think it really has an inherent danger. Also, like, why do you want to live forever? You know, I think there would be, aside from the population, boredom consideration. How many things can you do with thousands, millions of years? Eventually, you would run out of things to do. You would get tired of your own existence. I think that's another thing you may want to address. And the whole thing with time, the third thing I would say is time is relative. Because what constitutes a year? What is this whole abstract concept of time is like You could have a lot of experiences in a second. I could go through one whole lifetime in 1 second. I could think about it, have a memory that can span maybe 10 years, 20 years, in a flash of a second. Because of that thought. So what really is time? It's really interesting. It's really interesting. And my book also mentions the whole dangers of materialism. Materialism in my story, the greatest book never written. Materialism is actually the whole danger of materialism in general is because this whole thing that materialism is actually connected to immortality, and that the fact that in my book, revealing some things about my book, towards the end of the book, young Bartholomew realizes there's, like, in the end of the book, there's Shakespeare, who is actually still alive. Shakespeare never died. And Alexander the Great. And they were chasing after this whole fortune, this insurmountable now wealth. And they realized that the gold was cursed, that if they actually leave these caverns, that the gold would disintegrate, and so would their existence, because they bathe themselves in this lake of gold. This lake of gold gives them immortality. They can live forever and have all the gold they want, but as soon as they leave the caves, the gold disappears and their life ends. If they bathe themselves in the gold in order to live forever, because of their greed brought them there, and they cannot leave. They're trapped. And I think it's a really interesting. I think it's an epiphany, because if you think about it, immortality and materialism are sort of the same thing. Let me explain. Materialism is a physical necessity. With cash, with money, physical. It's tangible. It's there. Immortality is the same kind of idea, because you think, well, we're eventually going to die, fade into ashes, be gone. Well, if you think, oh, I have all this wealth, it's not going to go away. Well, it does go away. It disintegrates. And so does the body. Eventually disintegrates. In the book, William Shakespeare, who I pretend I am Mr. Shakespeare, says, what is the point of having, basically, what's the point of having immortality when you cannot love? Because young Bartholomew says, well, you can't leave this place. If you leave, you die. And you can't have any of the gold, the riches. Shakespeare says, what is the purpose of life but not love? So in other words, he'd rather give up his own life, his own fleshly being, to just experience that one moment of life outside the caves, feel the sun on his face, and have life that split second. That he wasn't attached to the gold and riches. And I think that's a really profound meaning. Because what are we doing? We're just chasing gold, chasing riches. I used to think that success was a matter of your financial impetus, your financial capacity. But what is the amassation of wealth, really? You could have all the wealth in the world and still be miserable, and still be unhappy. Is that not true? You could be the poorest man in the world and just be happy about life and full of joy and happiness. So What am I getting at? Think about it. You want to live forever? You know, I thought at one point I did. I was at one point uh, an exercise freak, a health conscious, very health conscious. I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. I had a vegan diet, and part of my vegan diet, I didn't eat any red meat of any kind, and any kind of meats, and it was very, very healthy. And I thought this will extend my life. But in doing so, I was extremely miserable. I was extremely depressed. And then I just had this whole moralistic bullshit, fed to all this moralistic garbage that, you don't eat meat, you're going to go to heaven, nirvana, whatever. All this new age crap I was fed. And I believed it. I bought it, and I believed it. But it's bullshit. I believe a lot. I recently with Jim Carrey has talked about. There really isn't anything. I think he figured it out. In all his fame and glory, he figured out that it's pointless. It's pointless. You're nothing. And we are nothing. We are just but a thought. We are just but an instant. It's the experience that matters. It's your experience. That's really the overall theme of my book. It's going to be available on Amazon. And I really urge people to buy the book if they want to delve deeper into the whole concept of spirituality, immortality, the whole concept of materialism. What do you think in our society? Do you think here's another topic or thought. Do you think money is necessary? Do you think that we need a monetary system? Now, the banks and such, this whole agenda eliminating the whole monetary system. Do you think money is necessary? I think to some extent, money is good for, you have to have a form of measuring value, right? If I give you a cheeseburger, you need to give me $1 for that cheeseburger, right? It's an assessment of value. That's what money is. It's an assessment of value. And that's one necessary. But again, this is a measurement. This is my argument. It's a measurement. And so is immortality. How long will I live? Like I said, at one point I was very much trying to extend my life and such. I was just extremely unhappy. I eliminated meat out of my diet. I just didn't feel the same. I felt empty. I felt a void. And, I think that's true for materialism as well. Are you going to be fulfilled by the dollars you have in your bank account? I don't think that's really the purpose of life. In fact, I think, the fiat currency is absolutely unnecessary. You don't need a fiat currency. You don't need it. In fact, it's actually government debt. It's not even, we've just been printing them off hundreds of years. We used to have money that was backed in gold. We don't even have a gold standard. We have gold, but it's this fiat currency that we use. It's a promissory note to nothing. It's a piece of paper. People realize that money is just a piece of paper. If I became a millionaire tomorrow, what would be my aspiration? To change the world. I don't value material things. Look around. Look at my apartment. Look where I'm situated. Sitting right now. Luckily, I have a computer. As you can see, the background. I don't live in a palace. I don't value material things. Material things just weigh you down. Ultimately, they weigh you down. They weigh you down your spirit. That's something new. And just be happy living in the moment. Because a moment could be 100 years. You determine what you feel. You know, I have this. Here's an interesting take on it. Okay, have you ever experienced an hour feeling longer than what it is? I have. I have. When I went to the doctors 2 years ago, I was told I had liver cancer. I would have liked to call them ending my addiction to alcohol. Liver disease. Those were the longest trials of my life. I became very spiritual in those moments. And I want to share that with you because what is a moment? You, in a sense, are time. We are time. We are the signature of time. We're pieces of the fabric of space. We are. If space, if we're part of space, then we are also part of time, because that's what Einstein theorized. Space and time are intermingled, they're together. Right? So thus, we are a fragment of time. Therefore, we already are immortal, right? Because if you think about it, wasn't the scientists propose that time is infinite? They live in an infinite universe. Infinity, right? There we go. If the universe is infinite, right, and we're a piece of that universe, aren't we infinite? I believe this physicalness that we have here, this flesh, it's just a vessel, a vessel. It's in my last video I talked about God, and I wasn't sure if he existed or not. I was I'm indecisive about it, whether he exists or he doesn't exist. You know, about how the Bible is man-made, such. But I really do think there was some kind of creator of our universe, whether it's God, Allah, whatever you want to call him. I do think there's something. And I really, if you had that experience, doctor, right, right outside the doctor's office, bite my nail, I was waiting for the test results. Those were the longest moments of my life. I embraced time like that. It felt infinite, you know. Those minutes were hours, days, and I reflected on my life and thought about what I was doing to the body, how I was polluting it, and what occurred to me. For the longest time, I thought, I'm not important. I'm a nobody, right? I'm just this loser, you know. I have a low-paying job, make $8 an hour. I'm a loser. Work in retail, a cashier for Christ's sake. What kind of impact can I have on the world? And I thought about it, I said, oh, well, wait a minute, if I die, what sort of impact will I have? And it led me to believe that if we do have this one life, we need to cherish this one life. It is very valuable. We can't just throw it away. And I had wasted 30 years of my life before I just came to that epiphany and realized, yeah, I could die at any moment. Could I die of cancer? I could have a heart attack. It's the moment that moments that matter. I've embraced you as a brother on this channel, on this stream. It's been an interesting journey so far. And I'm starting to find myself. I don't really know what I am. I'm trying to still figure that out. Trying to figure out my life's purpose. But I wanted to, this video was about instilling wisdom to the youth. Because the youth today, you guys just waste time. There's so much treasured moments that you waste. You think, oh my God, when am I going to be 18 already so I can have sex? So I can do this, so I can do that. And you just close your eyes and time just flies on by. Dude, what are you doing? You know how much I wish I was 18 years old again? I remember when I was younger, I was like, well, when am I going to be 18? Now I'm like, well, when can I revert time and be 18 again? I can't, you know. But I think that we are authors of time. I think that we control our fates. Fate is not predetermined. Because right now I could end the video, right? I could exit this room. I could jump in the middle of traffic and get run over. There's a number of possibilities of what I could do at the very moment, right? Thus, time is not written. A book never written. Okay? That book, that's the great wisdom of my book. It's the book that's never written. This boy, young Bartholomew, he experiences his grandfather. It's a book that's never written. The grandfather he gets sick in the story and he dies. But his spirit enters the book. Okay? His spirit, the book itself, the journal, the chronicle that was to chronicle his life story, because he was a famous explorer. That story never got written because he got sick. But the book fell into the lake of gold. Like I had explained to you, that lake of gold had the power of immortality. He grabs his hand into the book, touches the book. His whole body doesn't get immersed into the lake of gold. But part of his spirit, part of his essence, is the book. So later on in the story, he instills to his grandson the wisdom of everlasting life. And what is everlasting life? Living in the moment. Living in the moment. Love outweighs materialism, outweighs this desire for greed. Because we can amass all we want, you know. I could have 17 cars and 3 yachts, you know. Is it going to make me happier? Is it? You know, this guy Ty Lopez, constantly whenever I surf the net, I challenge this guy Ty Lopez, alright? He says, well, you know, I started an online business or whatever. Became a millionaire overnight, you know. Whole fanciful story. I challenge him. Why don't he, you know, if he really embraced his roots, you know, saying, oh, I started out poor or whatever, you would realize it was purposeless. Really purposeless to be rich. Look at that. I mean, when I say rich, I mean just the amassation of wealth, money. But there are different forms of richness. Right? It's greatness. That's why it's called the greatest book never written. Because the grandfather never writes it so that his grandson could experience his grandfather's legacy. Because if the grandfather did write the book, his grandson wouldn't be able to go basically into literally, I guess, and figuratively inside the book, part of it. So that's my story. It's pretty significant, and there's really cool parts. Cethophobizils and all sorts of exotic plants, life forms that we've never seen before. I also reveal the Atlantean race, and part of that is true. It was the Atlanteans that exist. Reveal that they are underwater civilization established underwater that we just don't see because they're so deep under the depths of the ocean. And that's another thing that I want to talk about is we don't, just because you don't see something doesn't mean it's not there. And as I get closer to my conscious awareness, I'm starting to reevaluate this whole idea of God. I think that maybe my disbelief is because I don't physically see him. But think about if I could see him. Think about if the world could see God. They would ask God a million things, right? They would ask, take care of this, God, cure my illnesses, take care of this, take care of that. Make me have everlasting life. No pain, no physical pain, or ailments, or disease. But God's not visible. He's behind the scenes. And that's, I think there's a point to that. I think the point is, God cannot be visible. Because once God becomes visible, physical presence, if you will, he is valued. He is basically, he's self-depreciating like us. Our vessels, they expire. We get older. We die. God would do the same. So God is infinity. Right? And I thought about it. I thought, well, God is infinity. God is infinite. And that's why we don't see him. He's behind the scenes. And he stretched across the universe. He's very, very minute. Because I know with basic science, the further something is spread out, the harder it is invisible to see. And then I thought about, what if he's in another plane? If he's another dimension? We cannot see gamma. It is a good point, right? You can't see gamma rays. But they exist. You can't see my brain right now. But I swear it exists because I'm talking to you. I think it's the same thing with God. You can't see him. It doesn't mean it's not there. Now, I have disbelief and confusion because I had a very difficult, maladjusted upbringing. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, Bensonhurst, New York, in a very difficult neighborhood, to say the least. Crime-ridden, poor town of Bensonhurst. I had a couple of quote-unquote friends. They were delinquents. They were miscreants in the town, did a lot of bad things, graffiti, like to steal, do bad things. I look back at that now and how I've changed as a person. I can't believe, like, why would the whole purpose of this behavior? I won't reveal names of those friends because what's the point? They may be even in jail right now. You know, if they are alive, they can comment and subscribe and try to contact me, but I don't think they will because I think that they're too embarrassed of what they became. See, I didn't become that way because, you know, there's this whole idea of karma, and I think karma is real. I think that if we do things that are wrong, it's going to bite us in the ass later. Because if we go back to this whole concept of an infinite universe, I think we just, once our physical vessels die, that we go on to something else. I don't think there's actual stoppage. It's an illusion. We see a dead deer in the street, we think it's dead, right? Crowd to run over deer dead. But that's just physical. It's because if gamma rays are real, cannot the spirit exist? I think there is a spirit. I think that they've determined. Hey, get this, the science has determined that we actually lose about 6.9 grams or something like that when we die. Every single human loses 6.9 grams, exact amount. I think it's 61 grams. I'm not sure exactly the amount of grams to look it up on Wikipedia, but we lose, 61 grams. Every single human loses exactly the same amount. What do you call that? I think it's the spirit that departs the body and goes elsewhere. Because there has to be some reason that this weight disappears. So actually, it is some kind of physical form. We just don't see it. It's there. It exists. So I kind of gone a little off topic. The whole argument with the whole aspect of immortality. But the whole thing with boredom, overpopulation, right? What would you do if you lived forever? You couldn't die. I think eventually you would lose your mind. Feel bad for the vampires. Feel bad for those vampires forever. Because I think being mortal you actually do literally live forever. Because you have an experience and you die in this physical vessel. But what would be the uniqueness of that existence if you didn't die? If you just lived forever, you lose your uniqueness. It's like, in the book, quote unquote, Shakespeare is still alive. But we all know that Shakespeare isn't alive, right? But that's how we remember him. Right? Because if Shakespeare was alive forever, never died, eventually we get bored of him. We get tired of it. So he wrote Macbeth. So he wrote this. So he wrote that. Sure, he would write a modern Romeo and Juliet. But really, he would, eventually we would get bored and tired of it. Life would just be very mundane and pointless. That's my opinion. And my opinion about materialism is, I think, live life to your fullest, and search for happiness. Because find happiness, whatever that happiness means to you, whatever happiness is for you. But I don't think happiness comes with money. I think that money, it gives you a form of security and comfort, but I think that security and comfort, um, is really relative. Really relative. Because you could feel comfortable today having $1 million in the bank account. Once you're dead, what will be of that money? Huh? Money you can burn. You know? Tomorrow our government might say, declare that money is useless. What do we do then? What do we do with all the money we have? We burn it, right? It's useless. That's my argument. Don't chase money. Don't be like Ty Lopez. Okay? I'll challenge him. Now I'm a nobody on YouTube. Let him challenge me, right? Because I have personal experience. Don't search materialism. It's not going to make you happy in the end. Really. Treasure your experience. Live life to the fullest. You know, if you haven't skydived, skydive. You know, do things. You know, have rich experiences. Have different experiences. And I think karma, is really important in this lifetime. Because if our physical form dies and our spirit moves on, I think that we're going to be tormented by some force. I just feel that karma will get back to us. So, we need to be good to each other. We need to be brotherly, and we need to embrace selflessness, like Jesus Christ did. He was a person. He was a real person. I believe that. Whether or not he died on a cross, died on a tree, some people say, some scholars. Some people say he didn't die at all, it was just a conspiracy. I believe that the overall theme there is karma. Because he died, quote unquote died, but did he really die? Right? Maybe he didn't die. Why? Because we know about him. But if he really died, we wouldn't be continually talking about him. It's just like musicians, rap stars, in spiritual sense, Michael Jackson, they don't really die. They just we still have memories. Watch their videos. When I die, my video will still carry on. Called a pothead or a crazy person nutcase. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. I don't care what other people think anymore. I care about educating the youth. Do not count your time. Experience life. You will have richness beyond money can count. Thank you. Please buy my book, The Greatest Book Never Written. Probably going to be available, I'm going to say around December, January 2018. Thank you, and have a great